Hello everybody, it's me, the Raw Local Maniac. I'm back again with another game review. And today will be the first time I've actually doing a Mega CD game review. And that game I'll be playing today is Final Fight CD. Now, I was a huge fan of Final Fight, the arcade game. And I've only played this for the first time last night, and I thought, wow, I need to upload a video of this. Now, the reason why I was being quiet there briefly is because this has got a bit of a voiceover, unlike the arcade and unlike the Super Nintendo. So it really stands out a lot more.
At the center of the problem is the
it's got like a nice little introduction there. It tells you a little bit about the Mad Gear.
Controls all of the major criminal activity in the city.
I really like the music as well. The music's phenomenal in this game.
They took immediate action to bring
Oh, look, there's Hagger and his daughter, Jessica. Wow. Hagger's voice doesn't sound quite right here. Check it out.
Hello, Mike Hagger here. Mr.
Mr.
Hagger.
Hagger. So, I never thought Mike Hagger would have like such a soft-spoken voice. I always thought it would be a little bit more growly, a little bit more, I don't know, manly tone to his voice. And that baddie, how intimidating is he? He's not in the slightest. He sounds like someone that's doing telesales, basically. But anyway, I'm going to quickly tell you a little bit about this game. Now, last night was the first time I actually ever got to play Final Fight CD. And I'm really glad I actually got to play it. And I'm really, looking forward to actually doing this review.
What have you done to her?
Oh, I like that bit. He nearly swore there. I'll tell you what, though. That Jessica is really, really hot. Right, so the arcade game is definitely in my top 10 favourite arcade games ever. I love Final Fight, and I used to love the Super Nintendo version, but you have to bear in mind that the Super Nintendo version was really scaled down. Now, the main thing about the Super Nintendo version was it didn't have two players at the same time, and that was the whole thing about Final Fight. You had to play it two players, with your friends. It just seemed really pointless releasing a game that was only one player, and the fact is that you could only select two characters out of three. That just, I don't know why they couldn't have done it. Fair enough that the game came out earlier on the Super Nintendo's lifespan, but it was a big disappointment for that. And I think the Super Nintendo version also lacked a few things. It lacked a factory level, and it also lacked a baddie that basically got replaced. And this version here, it's got everything the arcade has, but more really. Okay, let me quickly start with the negative about this game, actually. The only thing I can fault this game on is the colour. It's not as bright and as colourful as the arcade game itself. And it's not as bright as even as the Super Nintendo. But apart from that, it's a hell of a game. Just listen to this music. I'm just going to be quiet here for a second. How good is that music? That music's absolutely fantastic. I love all the little sound effects. Now, you'll basically find out the sprites here are very, very similar to the actual arcade sprites. They're about the same size, it's got the same sort of sound effects. But if anything, I actually think they sound better here on the Mega CD. But the music is much, much better than the arcade game. A lot better. And I love the way this sounds. Now, I'm really regretting that I should have actually got myself a Mega CD back in the day. See, back in the day, I had a Sega Mega Drive, and I also had a Super Nintendo, and I did contemplate about actually getting myself a Mega CD, but at the time, I don't think there were that many huge, big name games coming out. Sure, there was this, there was Terminator, and there was a few other games, but, there weren't as many as there were on the other, consoles, like, the Mega Drive or the Super Nintendo, so I chose against it. And when I first played this game last night, I was completely blown away about how good this game actually is. This game plays fantastically, and just playing this on the Mega CD basically makes me think, could they've basically converted it to the standard Mega Drive? What would that game look like? Fair enough, the sprites might have not been as big as they are here, but Streets of Rage worked so well. So they could have done it, the graphics a little bit smaller, the audio would have still sounded fantastic. It's a real shame it didn't come out on the normal Mega Drive, because I for sure would have actually definitely got it. Sorry guys, I'm just blown away by this music. This music sounds phenomenal. Now I will be doing a few more Mega CD games, because I've been playing the Mega CD since yesterday, and I'm really glad I've done that, because I feel like I have missed out. Alright, coming up is one of the baddies at some point. It's one of the women, and basically the woman doesn't actually appear on the Super Nintendo version, and the reason why she doesn't appear on the Super Nintendo version is because the Big N thought it was a bit wrong hitting a woman, because of the whole violence thing that the Big N used to have, you know, back then. And I think it's completely stupid, you know. That baddie there is so memorable. That guy there that whistles. I remember the first time I played that in the arcade, I was like, wow. This is pretty much arcade perfect. I think that at the time, this was the closest you could get to arcade perfect. I mean, even in recent years, with the Capcom collection and the 360 version of Final Fight, but this still ranks up there highly with them. There's that woman I was telling you about. Now, in the Super Nintendo version, she got replaced with a bog standard sort of like punk guy. It's a bit silly though, because she was one of the most memorable characters in Final Fight. All the characters in Final Fight were really memorable. Can't stand those guys that throw the those fire bottles, whatever they're called. Alright, so he's down and out. I've beat the crap out of him. Now, I'm only going to do a little bit more of this video, because I don't want to do a long video. I just want to sort of, you know, show the music on the second level, which is fantastic. It absolutely is. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to say goodbye now. I'm the Real Local Maniac, and basically the reason why I'm doing this is so that way you can appreciate the music a little bit better without me talking over. Okay guys, I shall see you next time with some more videos. Goodbye.